of Representatives holding a public hearing on allegation of abuse, breach and violation of the Public Procurement Act 2007 by the National Pension Commission in its procurement activities covering October 2014 to March 2017 has again asked the former boss of the commission, Chinelo Anoho Amazu, to appear before it. Anoho Amazu was confirmed as the Director General of PENCOM in 2014 and removed in 2017. In a letter to PENCOM, the House Committee on Public Procurement listed procurements conducted for the above duration. The House wrote to the former Director General of PENCOM to submit a memorandum and position paper and appear in person at the investigative public hearing on May 14. The Kano State government says they have not been served any court order following an injunction restraining Governor Abdullahi Ganduje from taking any action to create the new emirates of Rano, Bichi, Gaya and Karaye. The presiding judge, Justice Nasiru Saminu, in a suit filed by Rabiu Sule Gwazo, gave an interim injunction directing all parties in the suit to maintain status quo, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. State Commissioner for Information Mohammed Garba in an interview said the government is not aware of any court order as the governor was not served, neither was the Attorney General of the state. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has presented letters of appointment to 4 new first-class emirs in the state. The governor presented the letters on Saturday during a ceremony held at the state capital. Secretary to the Kano State Government, Mark Bila, said those presented with the letters of appointment include Aminu Ado Bariye, the son of late Emir of Kano, Ado Bayero, as the Emir of Bichi, Ibrahim Abdulkader as the Emir of Gaya, Tafida Abubakar as the Emir of Rano, and Abubakar Ibrahim too as the Emir of Karaye.
I want to inform the public that letters of appointment to our 4 new first-class emirs, and at the same time they wrote letters of acceptance which were submitted to my office the 9th of this month, May.
Ganduje during the presentation said the creation of an additional 4 emirates will make Kano traditional system more efficient.
It's an initiation by this administration in order to diversify the traditional system in order to make the system more effective and more efficient, especially considering the developmental challenges that we are facing.
Abia State Governor Okezi Bazo has approved the immediate dissolution of 32 boards of parastatals in the state. A statement by the governor's chief press secretary, Inaya Apollos, named some of the affected boards to include Abia State Transport Corporation, Umuahe Capital Development Authority, Abia State Housing Corporation, and Board of Internal Revenue. Others include Broadcasting Corporation of Abia State, Abia Newspaper Corporation, Enyimba Football Club, Abia State Passenger Integrated Manifest and Safety Scheme, and Abia State Environmental Protection Agency boards. Also dissolved are boards of Abia Essential Drug Services, Agricultural Development Program, Abia State Council for Art and Culture, State Emergency Management Agency, and Abia Warriors Football Club, amongst others. The governor directed members of the board to hand over all government property in their possession to the relevant offices. Obedience to the will of God has been described as the hallmark of Christian faith and vital ingredient for peaceful coexistence of Nigeria as a multi-religious nation. The Chief Executive Officer of Flow 94.9 FM, Chief Raymond Kendrim, made the declaration while delivering a keynote address of 17th Annual Synod of Methodist Diocese of Isukwato at Ovim Circuit. Speaking on the theme, obedience is better than sacrifice, Kendrim warned Christians against conditional obedience to the will of God.
The theme is very apt at this time. Today we are more of men pleasers. It is what men will praise us for that we do, and relegating what God wants us to do in the background. The lecture today is a wake-up call to Christians, to all and sundry, to go back to God, to realize that it's only through obedience to the voice of God that indeed we can achieve our national aspirations. Other than that, we will just be groping in the dark.
The Methodist Bishop of Isukwato Diocese, Reverend Kano Uzochukwu, in his remarks, said God's command is always in the interest of man.
Disobedience breeds confusion. When you disobey God or disobey state authorities, whatever you are doing will be clueless. And he is warning us against disobedience. That you must toe on the line, and it's not painful to do so. He shared his personal experience with us why he has remained an honest person. He is well gifted in public presentation. He is a well-grounded believer in the Lord, and we feel that these are enough to qualify him to come and address our synod.
Chimdindu, who is a devoted Methodist faithful, commended the church for the recognition.
It's really an honor to have been selected to come and deliver this keynote address at this 17th annual synod. I'm indeed very, very honored to have been chosen in my own community. They say a prophet without honor in his own land. I must say today I've been honored by my own people.
Only 360,000 out of the about 3 million persons in Abia State have enrolled for the National Identification Number since the commencement of the exercise in 2012 in the state. The coordinator of National Identity Management Commission in Abia State, Ukbabieni, told Flow FM News that the figure, which represents 10% of the estimated population of the state, was not encouraging, considering the importance of the registration.
In Abia here, it's been a bit slow. So we've been able to register around just roughly above 10% of Abians. So it's not a good pass mark. Yes, start around 365,000. It's not a good pass mark. People are not aware of the benefits of this registration.
He listed what Abia State stands to lose by the low turnout.
The federal government can decide to use the identity database to make so many decisions. First, can be used in voting. And again, with the NIN, you can have access to social welfare, access to grants, access to loans, access to mortgages, even for recruitment in government parastatals and agencies. Right now, if you don't have the NIN, you won't be able to apply.
He said the agency was collaborating with National Orientation Agency to sensitize the public on the program. Flow News at noon continues shortly with foreign, sports and entertainment news. Stay with us.
This is Flow 94.9 FM.
Away from the shores of Nigeria, re-elected South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is expressing joy over what he described as victory for democracy. During his speech to the nation, the President Ramaphosa encouraged opposition to join the development of South Africa. The just concluded presidential election in South Africa saw the ruling African National Congress, ANC, has won the 6th straight term in the post-apartheid era, despite a poor performance with 57.5%. And in sports, Nigeria's Super Falcons recorded 15-0 victory against cross-border neighbors Niger Republic at the group stage of the 2019 WAFU Women's Cup of Nations in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. To end the news, a recap of our major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari believes that true federalism and better collaboration among all sections of the country is needed at this time in order to move Nigeria forward. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board says that the results of the 2019 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination will be released formally today. Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has approved the immediate dissolution of 32 boards of parastatals in the state. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. is sending Patriot missile defense system in the Middle East amid escalation tension in Iran. Thanks for being with us. Remember that security is everyone's business. Provide useful information to security agencies to ensure your security. Do join us at 6:45 a.m., noon and 6 p.m. every weekday for additional newscast. This is Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's home state. You can send your views or information to flowfmnews@gmail.com or visit www.flownews.com.ng for more stories. This bulletin was edited by Oluchi Ndubizu. Supervising editor, Samson Eze. My name is Chimdindu Chambers. Up next is a BBC Media Action program. Talk your own. make Niger better.
Radio.
It's not just radio anymore. Flow 94.9 FM brings you something big and new. Let's give you that camera lights action effect, which is also part of our complete outside broadcast services for all your event coverage, both recorded and live. Juicy offers await you as you do business with us.
Let's go.
So what do you have? Is it a wedding, cultural event, birthday, conference, seminar?